The motion passed by this council in July said that the member for climate change will set up a cross-party working group on the climate crisis to investigate and propose further recommendations, and the working group has not done this. We have not investigated and we have not proposed. The group has met twice. There is no sense in that group of being able to influence the development of the plan and no way of changing the plan. The group agreed to meet in secret. I had hoped this would allow us to have uncomfortable discussions about the steps we might need to take. Instead, the secrecy has shielded the public from the awful hollowness of proceedings while the executive member talked to the press for political advantage. The first working group meeting was held on the 10th of October. Sensible suggestions and actions from that meeting were ignored in the plan. The second working group meeting was held in early January. After elements of plan were leaked to the press, the group was presented with what seems to be the version in front of us. The only change I can see between the plan as presented to the second working group meeting and the plan in front of us is the removal of an embarrassing line on the graph on page 8 of the plan. The graph as originally presented to the working group implied that about 100,000 tonnes of carbon per year would be removed by afforestation. That's very good. Unfortunately, the table on page 9 of the plan contained the real numbers, just 26,000 tonnes. Rather than address a gap of 75,000 tonnes, the problem has been vanished. There has been no attempt at all to quantify any of these actions. There is not even a sense of any of the impact any of these proposals would have. Green Bank, not a clue. New roads, not a clue. Cycleways, not a clue. The recommendation asks us to endorse the borough's carbon footprint. The easiest numbers to come by were the numbers relating to the borough's carbon footprint. The numbers are from a government website. It took me 5 minutes to Google those same numbers in July. This is not where we should be. I have the greatest of respect for the officers in this council. While they are all professionals in their own right, none is an expert in a climate change project of this scope and scale. A monthly meeting of existing officers is simply not a credible way to manage this plan. Where is the head of climate change? Where are the climate change project officers? The climate team needs to be permanent and it needs to be large enough to make a difference. You cannot fight climate change on a shoestring, and you cannot fight climate change by rebadging existing spending. The recommendation asks we endorse the initial actions. This plan is not about 2030. This plan is about 10:30 on May the 7th, when we start to see how many Tory councillors disappear. This plan is not about reducing carbon budgets and protecting the environment. This plan is about protecting Tory councillors. This is an election emergency plan, an electoral stunt, and we should not be approving it.
Thank you.